Right, infernal blessings. We are back with another video. It's been a very nice, cool, and breezy 2 days here in South Florida. Apparently we had some tropical system that was out in the water creating this nice, lovely, cool weather. I like it. I mean, it's gray overcast for the last 2 days. We haven't seen the sun in a couple of days, but I'm okay with that. Sometimes we need a break from that. I like this weather. Kind of feels like holiday season. It's got that wintry feel, especially if you grew up north in New York, this and that. You know how it is in the wintertime, holidays. I personally like that when we get them change of season. But anyway, it's been nice, cool, and breezy here. Very low 70s, high 60s. Gets a little cool at night. Anyway, let me stop giving you the weather forecast. You get the point. All right, other than that, some announcements. Let me run through the announcements real quick. 2024 yearly forecast readings. I kid you not when I say this. I'm booked out the yin-yang. I'm still taking them until first week in February, but please, I'm getting to the point where I might have to start scheduling appointments after Christmas. I can squeeze some in between Christmas and New Year's and then after New Year's, but it's getting that full, no exaggeration. A lot of you guys are reaching out to me. So if you want to reach out for your 2024 yearly forecast reading, book it now so I can get you on the agenda. And just please understand it's going to be a few days at least before I can get to you. There's a lot going on right now. All right. If you're interested in any other type of reading I offer, spiritual demonic reading, telepathic demonic reading, a Santa Muerte reading, a Egyptian oracle reading, deity reading, shadow work reading, or maybe you're interested in a spiritual consultation, shoot me an email at khnum19@gmail.com, and I will send you information on how to book a spiritual reading or a spiritual consultation. All right. Also, if you want to sign up for classes, the classes that I do offer, the way to do that, I do 3 classes every month on Patreon for Patreon members only, in addition to a group ritual we all do together at the end of the month. You want to go to patreon.com/Baniti, BANITI, Tier 3. That's the tier you want to join. Tier 3 gives you access to all of the classes, not just from the day you join moving forward, but you get access to everything in the archive going 3+ years back. You get access to all the group rituals, which is 39 and counting. And that doesn't even include all the work and ritual work that are part of the classes. I go much more in depth on Patreon. We talk about a lot of topics, very detailed. I wouldn't do it that way on YouTube. So if you want to take your path of self-mastery to the next level, patreon.com/Baniti, Tier 3, and we have a bunch of continual ongoing series of classes on every topic you can think about on the occult, the left-hand path. We tackle everything, all right? So check that out when you get some time. Don't forget to check out the Primordial Chaos podcast, available on Spotify and all major podcast platforms. The link to the podcast is in the description box of this video. Check us out on Instagram, Primordial Chaos 9. Facebook, Primordial Chaos, 2 words. I also upload all of the new YouTube content to the Primordial Chaos Facebook page, so you can keep abreast of all the latest happenings, announcements, and classes. That's the best way to do it, Instagram or Facebook. All right, having said that, by request of our good sister, Raven Hecker, a.k.a. Raven, a.k.a. the Witch Woman. This video is going to be a kind of gut check video, and that's why it's titled, "You Can't Fake the Funk on the Left-Hand Path. You got to be about it, right? You got to be able to walk this path. Not just walk it. Not just talk it, but you got to walk this path. Right? Unfortunately, let me roll the window up. Kind of bit of wind, so I apologize if there was some background wind noise. But it's just such a nice fucking day, man. I want to catch some of this fresh breeze. It's fucking awesome. Anyway, you can't just talk the talk on the cult and the left-hand path. You have to walk the walk. some of the shit I see is mind-boggling from people who claim to be on the left-hand path. Now, you've heard me say, let me back up, clarify if you're confused with what I'm referring to. I'm looking at some of the shit people do, and then these are the same people that are laying claim to be walking this path. And I'm not saying that to be judgmental. I'm saying that because some of the shit is just common sense, basic shit. And again, you know my take on that. Common sense is not something you can teach somebody. You must naturally have common sense. It can't be taught. And I learned long time ago, people either have it or they don't. It's just the way it is. Okay? You have to be, again, I've said this over and over, you have to be a representation of the knowledge you claim you have. Just use that as a basic criteria to guidelines. This ain't going to be too long of a video, only because I don't have a long ride to my next destination, which is Planet Fitness. Yes, you got to get the exercise in. It's a must. But you should be an example of the knowledge you claim you have. You can't go doing dumb shit, making dumb decisions, saying dumb stuff, and doing dumb shit, and then claim on the flip side that you got all this knowledge. You're studying this. You're studying the clip hop. First of all, anybody that's working these systems, whether it's necromancy, the clip hop, Luciferian magic or sorcery, or any type of Luciferian practices or philosophy, anybody that's really, and I'm just using a couple of those as an example, the ancient Egyptian vampirism, any of them, I'm using them as an example. You could tell when somebody who's really on the path, how they carry themselves, he or she, how they got their shit together. I'm not saying that, you need to walk around here not having any issues or problems. Like all of us are going to always be dealing with some bullshit. I'm not talking about that because that's just not practical. But as a whole, you should be sound, fundamental. And the problem that I see with a lot of folks on this path, they don't have a foundation. And what I mean by a foundation, I'm not talking about being exclusive to one particular path, this, that, or the other. I'm saying they don't have a consistent practice that they've established. See, that's a foundation when you're consistent. That's what I mean when I say a foundation. Not being exclusive to some dogma, philosophy, or a specific system, or on this path. That's not what I mean. And that's the other problem. Some people get stuck like Chuck in things that they like. So they gravitate towards, I'm just going to really do this. Or I'm just going to be exclusively connected to this spiritual path. And on the left-hand path, you really can't do that. You really can't do it on the path as an occultist, as a practitioner on this path. Because this path is so vast and there's so many things you have to explore. You limit yourself. So when you lay claim to being exclusive to this, that, or the other, you're actually doing yourself a disservice. But back to my point. I've said a million times over the years, in many classes and videos, and you probably heard me say this in person, you can't fake the funk on this path. You have to walk the walk and talk the talk. You can't just talk the talk and not walk the walk. Okay? Because I've also mentioned to you guys, there will be moments, key moments in your life, defining moments, where situations arise, critical situations in your life, personal matters, financial matters, business, whatever, relationships, all of that shit. You will be tested, tried, and proven to, quote unquote, how much you really, or if you're really about being on this path. Situations will arise where you'll be tested, tried, and proven worthy. And unfortunately, when the defining moments come, a lot of people fail. Right? These are the people that talk, I'm a chaos being, I do chaos magic, I'm a dark sorcerer, I'm this, that, blah, blah, blah. Oh, Callie told me I'm her daughter and my pussy is 14 karat gold, magnetic, and it effervescence into the universe. But then some bullshit arises in their life and they abandon it and they don't rely on their spiritual practice. They go completely in the other direction. They they choose a method of dealing with it completely away. Completely away from the spiritual system they claim that they are a part of. So if you're talking all that Kali shit, when you're dealing with personal power, Kali is a great deconstructive, reconstructive demoness to go to assist you in your work in your times of trouble and issue. Not just for sexual energy and Vama Marga and Tantra and all that, and that's part of it. But when them defining moments arise in your life, that's when you're supposed to rely on the power of your spirituality and your magic. So that's why I did a video about how powerful is your magic? Is it powerful? Does it work? Well, those defining moments determine if it works. I know in times of need is when I go harder at my ritual work, more time at my altar, more time in meditation, more time in fueling my intent and putting it out there for the outcome that I need in that moment that's very critical and important. Okay? But the people that just talk the talk and don't walk the walk, they like to talk the talk when everything is going good. Oh man, this and that and blah, blah, blah. And such and so this and so. But all of a sudden some chaos comes, some turmoil manifests in their life and they just get torn apart. They just can't figure it out. They just don't know what the fuck they're going to do. Or they take the most common route, blame something external outside of themselves, something or somebody for why everything is happening. Why me? The role of the victim. Why is this happening? Not everybody, but there's a percentile that does. Okay? Remember, everything that is happening for a reason. There's no such thing as a coincidence on the left-hand path, the occult, and really in spirituality as a whole. Okay? Remember, karma is based on the choices and the decisions you make. Because by those choices and decisions is going to determine what kind of energy comes back to you. It's that simple. That's what karma is. Fuck all that spooky shit. Oh, you do this, it comes back around, and all that, religious, people making it more deeper than it is. You are the god that brings that karma back. There's no spirit spook force that does it. You, god or goddess, make a choice or a decision. That choice or a decision is either going to be beneficial for you long term or it's not. So as a god or a goddess making a conscious decision or choice that's going to impact your life, it's very simple to figure out what type of energy is going to come back to you from that choice. You make wise choices, wise productive decisions, wise productive energy returns to you. You make fucked up decisions and stay, for an example, in bad financial situations or abusive relationships and find excuses why to stay in them and try to justify it and then wonder why shit goes haywire. That's the karma you created, God, goddess. That's the difference from somebody who walks the path and doesn't just talk the path. I learned a long time ago, if I do something fucked up, if I'm out there doing shit I ain't supposed to be doing, if I'm going to go to the strip club, smack a few asses, this, that, and the other, and be in that environment, I know what environment I'm putting myself into. Something goes down, it's my responsibility. I ain't going to blame nobody. I made a conscious decision to go to the strip club and smack some asses. So Baniti will take accountability for that. I love people that do some shit pops. Oh, they set me up. Oh, there was such and such was out there to get. I ran into such and such. Well, you made a conscious decision to go there. Don't matter if you ran into such and such. You're still held accountable for it. So sometimes a lack of not walking this path and just talking this path is people don't understand how karma works. I've done videos, I've talked about this, and I will continue to talk about it as time goes on. How you walk the walk and not just talk the talk on this path is by making very wise, intelligent, productive choices and decisions that are going to be beneficial for you long term. That's just the way it is. Remember, I did a video and it just baffles me how it doesn't get as many views as other videos, because it shows me sometimes people are looking for spooky shit. I did a video about understanding the reptilian aspect of your brain and the neocortex part of your brain, right? And the neocortex part of your brain is the part of your brain that gives you critical thinking skills. I did that because I wanted to show you, see, the reactionary part of your brain. Sometimes people are just tapping into the raw aspect of their reptilian part of their brain, which is the oldest part of your brain, which is the natural instinct to survive. It's pure reactionary and needed to survive, but also needs to be harnessed and harmonized out. Your neocortex part of your brain develops over time. Your critical thinking skills, that's the part of your brain that you tap in to make wise choices and decisions. That's the part of your brain, what I've been saying for years on the left-hand path, you must be a critical thinker. Even though I may not have mentioned, maybe I have and I just don't remember, even though I may not a lot of times have mentioned the neocortex part of your brain, I mentioned that for a reason. And that's why I said, like, for an example, Neo in the movie The Matrix is called Neo because it's a short form of that part of the brain. He's supposed to be somebody who was not aware, conscious, or woke, and now is awoke. He's wake. So his name is Neo, right? But anyway, not to get tied into that, critical thinking is your sharpest weapon, sword, tool of artillery on this path to be successful. So when you're making choices and decisions, pause for a moment, reflect, how's this going to affect me? Okay? And a lot of people like to say, man, I don't give a fuck. Well, if you don't give a fuck, then that's cool. But have that same mentality when whatever comes your way, and you're just going to have to deal with it. I don't recommend that, but unfortunately, there's people, how many times we know people like that? Man, I'm going to do that, such, blah, blah, blah. I don't give a fuck. I say it sometimes, I'm not going to lie, but I'm saying it after I've done the analyzing, the critical thinking. So if I'm going to be out and about doing my thing and maybe I'm doing shit, going in circles, places I should or should not go, this, that, or the other, maybe I'm having a little extra fun, whatever. Indulge with reason, right? Indulge and not overindulge and be smart. But I also take accountability and responsibility. If I'm doing some shit, I know that there's a chance that something could come back to me and affect me, and I'm going to have to deal with some drama or bullshit or chaos. I'm prepared. If you're not that type of thinker individual, then guess what? Don't approach it like that, because it's going to swallow your ass up and spit you out. And these are all the determining factors and the differences between, again, individuals who don't just talk the talk, but they walk the walk. They're not faking the funk on the left-hand path. It's a term we used to use back in the day, in the 90s. That was a big, you're faking the funk. It was a song by the Main Source. Right? We got a lot of motherfuckers faking the funk. And look, just like any other path, you can see Hotep is out there all dressed up in their Egyptian garb. You could see the Alafia, wannabe Ifa people all in their African dashikis and saying Ashe and Alafia. Well, we have that in the occult too. You got a lot of Baphomet motherfuckers walking around wearing their Baphomet pendants and their Ouroboros pendants and their, Leviathan pendants, and all their other occult symbols and their different necklaces. This, that, and the other. Look, I wear little pieces too, but I represent these pieces. I'll break down all of this and what it represents and validate I live, eat, breathe, shit, and sleep this 24/7. But we got left-hand path occult. They look good. They play the part. On the outside, you go, oh man, that person must be really, really dark, really satanic, black magic, left-hand path, whatever. Why? Because they're dressed in all black and they got on a pentagram or a Baphomet chain, or that necessarily they may be the dumbest motherfucker you ever met in the world. So when I'm joking around about the Hotepers and Alafia people, right? That applies to the occult left-hand people too. The same thing. You got a lot of left-hand path practitioners walking around faking the funk. See, I'm the type of dude, you're in my presence, I got questions. I got things I want to ask. I got stuff I need to know. I got questions. Be ready for the questions. That's all I'm saying. Be ready. Because I like to move in circles with authentic people. I don't want to be in circles with fake ass people. I don't want to be in circles with wannabes. I want to roll with people who are about this path, about this energy, and represent this path. Okay? That's the difference. Okay? And that's a further proof of why your circles need to be tight. As you grow on this path, you can't just allow anything or anybody in your circle. You're not going to want to, because your energy starts to change. Your mentality starts to change. Your attitude and your personality changes. I can guarantee anybody watching this video that's been on the path for a decent amount of time can go back and reflect over the years how their circles have evolved and changed. It's just the natural process. Why? Because you're changing. And sometimes when you're changing into something bigger, better, and greater, and you have things around you that are not, your spirit says, all this got to go. I can't fuck with this no more. And that's just the natural order and process of things, right? This is what it means when you start to change with nature, with creation, with the energies, the movements of the planet, if you want to get into the astrological aspect of it. But most importantly, you're awakening the personal daemon, or the true and higher self within. And that part is now taking over every aspect of your essence. That is now communicating clearly to you, and you're now being guided by your high and truest self, or real self, not the illusionary you. The illusionary you now takes a back seat. The illusionary you that didn't see what was going on. The illusionary you that could be fed bullshit and would fall for it. That starts to be now ripped apart, stripped. You don't give a fuck about that no more. And like I said, you're going to have many moments like that as you travel this path. I can reflect back on many of those type of moments in the last 20 years. Okay? And it's part of this cycle. It's part of the evolving. It's part of the growing. All right? So again, long story short, be about it. Don't just talk about it. Don't just talk the talk, walk the walk, and don't be faking the motherfucking funk. That's the message. Courtesy of your girl, Raven, a.k.a. because I was with her earlier. We were talking, and topic came up. She's like, yeah, man, you got motherfuckers, on this path. They be bullshitting, faking the funk. And she's right. Because her, too, she runs into people and shakes a damn head, and it's just like, fuck can you be on this path and have this knowledge and do dumbass shit like that? Look, nobody's perfect. I get that, but some shit is just should never happen. I'm sorry, but you get the point. All right. So no more faking the funk, people. Get your shit together. We got some powerful shit coming up for 2024. Your boy's in the darkness, and the stats is plotting, planning. We got some shit. You thought we worked hard in 2022 and 3? Guess what? We about to upstep it in 24. And again, I didn't mention in the beginning with the announcements. Remember, we have the end of the year class on the 29th of this month. The 2023 end of the year 2024 prophecy class will take place on December 29th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you're on Patreon, you got access to it. You're good to go. If you're not a Patreon member, you can sign up individually, or you want to join Patreon. Tier 3, go to Baniti.com. I'm sorry, patreon.com/Baniti, Baniti. Join Tier 3. That's going to give you access to attend that class. I'm going to be doing some on-the-spot quick readings for people in the room. I'm going to be recapping 2023. I'm also going to be communicating to you what the spirits shared with me for 2024. Not because I want you to take it, every word that I'm saying is valid. I want you to take that information and utilize it for yourself. Remember, if I've received messages from the spirits, I don't say I got downloads for everybody and everybody needs to accept what I'm saying. No, you take it how you see fit and for what it's worth. I'm just going to tell you what subjectively and personally was communicated to me. You guys take it and how it applies to you. This is something the spirits told me that I need to start doing from this year moving forward. They will give me that message every year, and I'm going to follow that. Okay? So if you want to get in on that, we got that coming up on the 29th of December, which is a Friday evening, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to close our year out and get ready for 2024. All right, that's what it is. If you need to reach me, khnum19@gmail.com for a spiritual reading or a consultation. The link to the podcast, the direct link to the Primordial Chaos Patreon page to sign up for classes, the social media pages, all the information to contact me for any of the things I mentioned, classes, readings, etc. All that information is in the description box of this video. All right. Other than that, this is Baniti. Check it out. Going to exercise and get it in. We'll talk soon. Fertile blessings.